Hey guys, welcome to Vegas United, welcome to another video. And first let me start by saying that congratulations to Real Madrid for winning La Liga. Obviously that's a given. They did better than Barcelona during the season. And I know that, the VAR situation has been, an issue. I think that I don't think that the competition is rigged, but I'll talk about that later. It's not a topic for now. I want to emphasize Real Madrid did not win La Liga because of VAR. They won it because they were better than Barcelona, and because Barcelona, they just did 40 points in the first half of the season. If we would have done 45, then it would have been a different story. So, instead of complaining of what others are doing, let's complain about what we did wrong and improve ourselves. Because we cannot control what the other team is going to do, but we can control what we are going to do. We can improve ourselves. And we need to focus on doing that instead of focusing on what other people are doing. With that said, let's talk about the topic of today. And I want to start by saying that we have a group of players that have given Barcelona a lot, that have won a lot for Barcelona. And this is just a few days after what happened against Osasuna. And losing La Liga is not the thing that annoys me the most. Honestly, it isn't. Even losing the Champions League is not gonna annoy me the most. What is going to annoy me, and what is worrying me a lot these past couple months, even years, is being that we've lost our sense of identity. And there's many factors that I've mentioned time and time again. That we've lost the way of doing things, obviously, because we have a board that is incompetent. Although, let's be honest, the board is only there because we put them there. The people in charge of voting, the Barcelona people, the Barcelona partners, Barcelona associates decided to vote Bartomeu into this board. Decided to make him president. So, I knew that Bartomeu wasn't fond of continuing with the project that Guardiola, that Laporta left us. And, it's the fault of the people that decided to believe in a board like this. And also we have the players. The players that I have said have won so much for Barcelona, but how important is that for us really? Like, how important is it for Barcelona to have these group of players if they have lost their humility, if they're not humble like they used to be? And I mean that they're not humble like they used to be because it's very simple. They aren't. Like, Messi, you've lost your humility when Sarabia is trying to talk to you and you ignore him. Or when after the post game finishes, you go and talk and say that, well, we didn't used to struggle like this before, even though we haven't won at Balaidos since 2015. Or that, Barcelona fans are getting wrongly used to us playing well. We're just getting the good results, and a week later we get four past us by Liverpool. Things like that, like someone sleeping 3 to 4 hours, or leaving the bar, leaving mid-season to do the Cup Davis, and then travel in a plane a couple days later to join the team to play a game away from home. Those kind of things. And is that really the best way to do things? Is it really that's the thing. Players are doing things that they didn't used to do before. And that is the problem. The problem is that we want to succeed like we used to before by doing things that are completely different. that are actually the exact opposite. My thought process, and I think what makes the most sense, is if you want to, win or play like you used to before, do things like you used to before. Trust in La Masia. Have players that are fully committed with the cause, that are fully committed to playing with what the manager wants to do. That if the manager wants you to do something, you do it. But we're not doing any of that. And the problem for me is that I am very sad and I feel very afraid of what this era is going to finish. I'm going to call it the Messi era because, he's the face of this Barcelona team, and there's other players, obviously. Piqué, Suarez, Alba, like I've mentioned them before, but let's put them in the group of, the Messi era. The problem with this is that we're going to have these set of players that, after they've done so much for Barcelona, they're going to leave on bad terms. And that just seems very sad to me that this is going to happen. And you might be saying, how could it be? We love Messi. Messi is the best ever. Well, yeah, for now you do. And for now, I still do. I love Messi, and I'm always going to be grateful for everything that Messi has given Barcelona. He's given us multiple goals, dribbles, titles, great moments. But it's going to get to a point where there's going to be fans that are going to get annoyed by the team keep losing and losing and losing. And if you don't believe me, look at Argentina. People in Argentina, every year that passes, more people in Argentina turn on Messi. They start believing the lies that Messi is not that great, he only can succeed with Barcelona. And the truth is that Argentina don't have a project, and they've never had a project. And that's the reason that they've not been able to be successful. The one time that they had a project, coincidentally, they reach a World Cup final that they lose by, Higuain is kind of a meme right now, but you know what I mean. Like they lost by a really small margin. So, are those things that really, really make a difference? Like having a project or not can make all of a difference. And that's why a player will never be more important than the team. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Doesn't matter if you have 11 Messis in your team. If you don't have a project, if they don't do the things that they need to, you're not going to succeed. And that is a given. That is why people tell me, oh, good luck trying to win without Messi. I'm like, well, Manchester City have won without Messi. They don't have Messi. Liverpool has succeeded and they don't have Messi. How many times have we seen Real Madrid being kind of mediocre, even falling a lot of points behind Barcelona in the league, and they miraculously win the Champions League? Not that I want us to do that, but they've done it before. Bayern Munich have cemented themselves in the Bundesliga by their own merits, and they don't have Messi. Juventus, the same thing, and they don't have Messi. So this continuing talking of how are you going to succeed without Messi is like, well, remind me if I'm wrong, but there was a Barcelona before Messi, and I'm hoping that there's still going to be a Barcelona after Messi. So I know that Messi still has years to give us something if he wants to. And that's the thing. Those players need to change their mentality. They're either with the team and willing to do things like we used to before, which is exactly the things that players like Ter Stegen and De Jong have been told this season that they want us to do. That Ter Stegen has been mad that we are not doing things the way that we want to. Like, he wants us to train harder, to do better. De Jong is the same thing. He's like, he got mad because he got injured because they're not training hard enough, and then during the games he's overcharging himself because obviously you're training one way, but then if you try to exceed yourself during the actual game, you get injured. And that's partially why I think Dembele and Rafinha are getting injured so much at Barcelona, because we train one way, but then when we want to give maximum effort, because your muscles are not prepared to give maximum effort because you haven't trained them to do that, obviously there is bound to be injuries. Think about Messi before Guardiola came in. Messi had pretty much the same ratio of injuries of Ousmane Dembele. Like, he had pretty much an injury every single month. Guardiola comes in, no more injuries. Like, let's do things like we used to before. And I'm saying this right now, knowing fairly well that I'm gonna receive dislikes, I'm gonna receive hate. People are gonna be like, how can you say this? Like, Messi's the god of Barcelona. Like, I understand it. And I'm saying it because I can say it. Because I am willing to say it. Because the media will never criticize players like Messi. They will never do that. Because they can't do that. Because I know that a lot of people follow these players. That a lot of people don't follow Barcelona because they're necessarily Barcelona fans. They follow Barcelona because they have their favorite player, whether they be Piqué, whether it be Suarez, Messi. You know, that's the reason. Some of them follow Barcelona because of singular players, and when you criticize them, obviously they get mad. They get mad because, you know, they're their favorite players and they don't want them to be anything wrong with them. And obviously, if you criticize those players, they might stop reading your sources, and you start losing money. And that is like that in every single aspect in the world. Just look at Hunter x Hunter, for example. For you guys that don't know, it's a shonen. They killed, a spoiler alert here for anyone that hasn't with Hunter x Hunter finished the anime. They're pretty much gonna kill Gon. They don't, because the editor says, hey, you can't kill Gon because he is really good for marketing purposes. And the same thing goes here. Like, the media are only gonna be able to tell you so much that will be able to help them profit. But the truth, they can't necessarily always tell you the truth, or they're not willing to tell you the truth, because it's gonna cost them money. I don't have anything to lose here. I'm saying it as I see it. And I am the first person that loves Messi. I am into football because of Messi. You guys are listening to this because of Lionel Messi, because he's a player that got me into the sport. He's the reason that I love football. But sadly, I am a Barcelona fan before anything else. And I want what's the best for the team. And I've been putting like tweets in other people's, like when other people put tweets, I have been sending as of late, like, I would rather have Ansu, Lautaro, Dembele than the MSN. And it's not that I think that quality wise that the younger players are better than the MSN, but that they are going to play with more intensity, with more commitment, that they're going to train harder, that they're going to be committed with the team. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Because obviously these players have won so much that, you know, and anything that's pretty much not the Champions League, it's of little worth to them. And there was other videos that I could have done today. For example, like, and I'm probably going to talk about this soon, it's an embarrassment how, again, the Madrid media is like, you know, oh, this year Benzema deserves the Ballon d'Or because he was the best player in La Liga. When that is an absolute travesty, and that is a lie. And I don't know who you want to kid here. And apparently La Liga now is worth something. Whenever they said, oh, La Liga is worth nothing, only the Champions League is important, but that's only when we win it. When they win it, it's the most important thing in the world, and it's an absolutely fantastic trophy. You know, same thing with the Copa. Whenever Barcelona win the Copa, it's the Coca-Cola Cup. But when they win it, it's like winning the World Cup, you know? Like, I could be talking about that, and I probably will in coming days. But today I want to talk about this, about my worry with this, and that, you know, honestly, if there's an opportunity for Messi, please, I encourage you, leave Barcelona and join Manchester City. If you really have an option to join Manchester City, go ahead and do so. You'll be with Guardiola. You already have a really good team built around you that could perfectly work for you, and you have a lot of players that will be able to, you know, to pressure for you to work hard for the things that you're gonna do, and you're gonna be able to freely go in attack. You have a team that's already very structured, and that'll be great. They'll be playing something that you already know how to play. There's no adaptation period needed, and it will be great. It could be great. It will allow us to, to change the team, to finally renew this cycle. Because the thing is that we keep stretching and stretching and stretching, and it's getting to the point where, like football teams, think of them as bubblegum. You can keep chewing and chewing and chewing, but eventually, doesn't matter how good it is, the flavor of the bubblegum will fade away, and you will have to change for a new one. And it is our time to change this bubblegum. It is time to do so. Like, we've been able to enjoy these players for over a decade. I think they've given more than everything that they had, and they can, like I said, they can still give more. And not necessarily I would get rid of everyone. I would get rid of some players that I think it's time for them to go. But I know that they can still succeed at other teams, but with a different group of players around them. It's really needed for us to do this, or otherwise we'll fall into mediocrity. We'll be the next Milan. We'll be the next Manchester United. So I don't want it to happen. I want us to be better. Anyway, that's everything on this comment section. Guys, leave in the comment section if you think that message should leave. What do you think about like what I mentioned in this video? Leave me your comments in the comment section below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.